Hello all, welcome back to SMA channel. So today in this class we are going to see about decision trees which comes under classification with an interesting story. So let's move on to the story and then we'll go to the subject. And at last we'll end with the coding. So if you see here, Vadam tea is a tea brand that is made in India. So Bala Sadda is the entrepreneur of this company. So he is the founder and CEO of the award-winning premium Indian tea startup, which is named as Vadam Tea. And one more thing I would like to tell you, it is not a paid promotional video, and I am just taking this as an example to tell an inspiring story. So Vadam Tea is a made in India tea brand. And he is the Bala Sarda. He is the CEO and founder of this company. So let's see something about this company. So these are all the products of Vadam tea. If you see, they have many products, and their one of the advantages that they release new products within a short period of time. So it was awesome. And to tell about Bala Sarda, he started this Vadam tea when he was 23 and he has completed his undergraduate degree in business studies from Delhi University. So moving on to the company, building a homegrown brand can create trust with consumers. So Bala Sarda is on a mission to bring consumers fresh tea through his online retail platform called as Vadam Teas. He cuts out the middleman and has created a vertically integrated direct to consumer business model. So there are only two people. The one is farmer and the second one is he, the owner of the company. So no middlemen were there. Because of that, a lot of money has been saved, which will also reduce in the cost of the product, and they also can get a quality product with less price. So due to the middlemen available, many of the products in the market have a lot of price. So let's see the growth of Vadam tea. He sources from more than 100 plantations in India where the teas are blended, packaged and shipped directly from their source. In the 2.5 years since the operations began of his company, he has raised surprisingly $2 million in funding and has shipped the tea to some 150,000 customers in and around 80 countries. So the one line success he had is made in India for the world. So this was his Taraga mantra. So how our topic is connected to this story? See, children will be really very eager to learn when the topic is connected to the story. So that's why I brought you an inspiring story of this entrepreneur. So let's see how this our topic decision tree is connected to this story. When he was at the age 23, he decided to start a business instead of going to a salaried job. With this in mind, he started a business and now he is in the list of entrepreneurs under 35. So decision that he took at that point of time is really very important. Let us see how we can make similar decision using machine learning. So first of all, if you see, this is a tree structure of decision tree. So if you see, This is the tree structure. Okay, this is the way we draw a tree and we'll derive a decision. I'll tell you what is these things. So first of all, what is mean by decision trees? Tree-like model of decisions. Simply, in a sentence, we could say that we are going to derive decisions using a tree-like model. So this is called a tree structure or a tree-like model. The most important part of decision tree is attribute selection. So first of all, you need to know what is meant by an attribute. I'll tell you what is meant by an attribute when we go to the data. So attribute selection is a very important thing that is considered in decision trees. We have two methods for attribute selection. The first one is ID3, which is meant by iterative dichotomizer 3, and the second one is Gini index. So in today's class, we are going to see about ID3 algorithm. So this is an algorithm which is used for attribute selection. So first of all, let's see. This is called as the root node. Root node is where the first split starts, and these are called as branches. And then these nodes in between the decision node and the root node are called as internal node. Okay, internal node. You don't have to remember these things, but if you repeatedly see, you will remember. These are called as subtree, and these green leaf node is called as a decision or a leaf node. So if you get a leaf node, you have to stop the tree there. So from this we get a clear decision. So we start a tree when we want to take a decision, and we just divide it into two parts in the case of, see, we have another topic called as binary classification. Binary means only two. The classification will be divided into zeros and ones, yes or no, male or female, that way. And we have another topic called as multi-class classification. Multi-class in the sense it will be divided into more than two branches. So this is called as multi-class. So for example, here I have to select whether this fruit is apple or not an apple. But here, if you see, I have to classify whether the given fruit, suppose this is a given fruit, and I have to classify whether this is orange or apple or grapes. So this is the difference between binary and multi-class classification. So as I have told you, I'll tell you in the next slide about attribute selection. And today in this class, we are going to see about ID3 algorithm. Let's move on to the next slide. So what is ID3 algorithm? Before that, I'll tell you what is attribute. Suppose this is our data set, okay? Data set that we have. So as we have seen a similar example, that is the Vadam teas. So based on that, I too want to start a business. For an example, I want to start a business, but I don't know whether I can start a business or not. Not everyone in this world can start a business, okay? So I want to decide whether I am eligible or I can. If I start, will it succeed? So I want to decide. We are making a decision here. That's how we are finding using decision tree. I'm going to make a decision, okay? Whether I can start a business, yes or no. I can start or not. So this starting a business column is called as target column, where we will be predicting whether I am eligible to start a business or not. So how do someone see whether I'm eligible or not? Based on some features. So these two things, the first two columns are called as features. So these two columns combined are called as features. In machine learning terms, we say this as independent variable and this one is as dependent variable. Why this is dependent? Because the decision whether I can start a business or not is dependent upon these two features. Feature, many will say it as attribute. So don't confuse with it. So I have two things here, financial status and prior experience in the industry. For an example, I'm going to start a business. First of all, the main thing is I need to do the investment. For that, I need money. So I'm going to check whether I have a good financial status or not, or a bad financial status. And if I am going to start a company in the IT industry, for an example, I'm going to start in the IT industry. First of all, I should have a prior experience in the industry. Whether I should work as an employee 5 years or I should be a kid of a entrepreneur who is running IT, who is running a company in the IT industry. So that's how the experience comes. So it could be strong or weak. It depends upon the person. So this is just a sample data. Okay, this is just the sample data. If you wonder, if you see here, the financial status is bad, prior experiences, see here, the financial status is bad and the prior experience in the industry is also weak, but how I can start a business? So you have doubt in this. As I have told you, many has succeeded from a low background. If you take for an example Oyo Hotels founder, he has a very bad financial status. He does not have any industry experience, that is, he does not know anything about the hotel industry, but yes, he started a business and now he is flourishing in that industry. So this is all about the data. We have two features and one target. We are going to predict whether I'm going to start a company, yes or no, using ID3 algorithm. For that, we use two measures. One is entropy and the second one is information gain. We have separate formulas and derivations for that, but that is not important. The more important thing is that we need to concentrate on the concepts. The formula I'll explain in the next slide. So first of all, what is meant by entropy? Entropy is the measure of randomness or uncertainty. Information gain. So what is meant by information gain? So the gain that we have to calculate the gain that we get from these two features, so that I'm able to compare between these two. If you see in the previous slide, I told you about attribute selection, feature selection. If you see in a real, this I have told you it is a sample data. If you see a real world data, it will not be like this. You will be considering more than 10 features. So in that case, here I have taken only two features, but in real world situation you may have 10 to 20 features. It may depend on the data. So if I take 10 to 20 features, I have to compare which to take first. As I've told you, this is the root node. We need to decide whether which feature will come in this node. That way we are going to divide the decision tree. Suppose here I take financial status. Then I have to divide between good and bad. Then I have to compare the remaining other. If I have 20 features totally, now financial status has been removed from that. So now totally I have 19 features. So it's like a competition. We need to decide whether which works good Out of 19, I have to decide for this decision node, which could be selected here. So for comparing the remaining 90 and selecting the best, that is first attribute or feature for this decision node, I have to calculate the gain that I get from each feature, so that I'll select the feature that gives me more gain. So that's how entropy and information gain comes into picture. So if we move on to the next slides, I think you will be able to understand. So please listen properly. So how to calculate the entropy of the data set? So for easy purpose, I have pasted the data set here. This is the financial status and this is the prior experience in the industry. These two are features. Based on these two, we are going to predict this target. See, target is really very important. You have to concentrate here. So how to calculate entropy first? We need to find the gain. For that, we have to calculate the entropy. So the formula for entropy is minus summation. If you see, I'll write the formula here. The formula for entropy is minus summation probability log 2 probability. So this is the formula we are going to use here. If you see in the example, you will be cleared. So now we are going to find the entropy of the data set, the whole data set. So entropy is the randomness. We are going to find how much randomness is present or uncertainty. We have to remove that so that I'll get a clear decision whether I can start a business or not. So the first form we are going by the formula here. Minus the summation represent S and no in the data set. So minus probability S log 2 probability S. Minus probability no log 2 probability no. So we have S and no's in the data set, okay? So that probability we have to write here so that we can find the randomness present in the data. If you see how many S are present, 1, 2, 3 and then 4. So out of we have totally 8 day. The number of rows here is 8 rows. So we have 8 data. Out of 8 we have 4 S. If you can see 1, 2, 3 and 4 are S. So the probability of S is nothing but minus comes from the formula minus 4 by 8 log 2 4 by 8. Same way minus probability of no we have to find from the data. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. These are no. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 no we have. So out of 8, 4 are S and 4 are no. 4 S, then 4 no. See, if I substitute these values in this formula, I get an entropy of 1. The value is 1 here. You can use a calculator to calculate these things. So the entropy of the data set is 1 means, if you see the maximum value is written here. Maximum value of entropy is 1. That means there is there is equal probability that you can get an S or no. So I can't decide. It's a difficult situation for me. It's like tossing a coin. I can get both head or tail. It can have equal probability. I can't say that, yes, of course, 100% I'm sure that I'll get a head here. So that is the meaning of entropy. I can't say sure whether I can start a business or not. So that's what the problem here, and at the end of this class we will solve this. So entropy is 1 means I have a really very big problem. I can start or I cannot start. There is a 50% probability that I can start and 50% probability that I cannot start. So let's go into the ID3 algorithm. So what the algorithm says that after finding the entropy of the whole data set, so now I am going to find the entropy of each feature. So now what we did first, we found the entropy of the whole data. So as I've told you, and the attribute selection is really very important. If you see here, we have to decide, we have totally two features here. We have to decide which will come in this root node. So for that we use the measure entropy and information gain. So we are calculating that. So now first we took the whole data. Now we are going to take this first feature to calculate how much uncertainty or randomness present in this column. So the financial status is selected here. We are going to find the entropy for each feature for financial status and then their experience. Now I have taken the entropy of financial status. This formula remains same for whenever you do, whether you can find the entropy for whole data or you can find it for a single feature. The formula remains the same. Just remember, minus probability of S log 2 probability of S minus probability of no log 2 probability of no. So let's move on to the math part. H of Fs is equal to good. H represent the entropy. So nothing to bother. It's just a symbol that they use in the derivation. It's not important. So Fs is the financial status. See, when we are going to find S and no, so we are going to find the entropy, right? For that we need S and no. From where we need S and no? We need from the financial status. So we are finding the entropy of financial status. So see, when financial status is good, we have how many good here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 good here. Out of 5, write how many you have S. See parallelly good S, 1, 2, then 3, then the other 2 are no. So if you could see 3 are S. So I'm substituting probability of S in that place. Out of 3, 3 S are there out of 5. You have to see only good. Total good is 5. So 3 by 5 log 2 3 by 5 minus 2 by 5 or no. You can see good no. You have to see good no. So 2 by 5 log 2 2 by 5. So if you calculate, the entropy of this feature is 0.97. Same way we are going to calculate the entropy of bad. So we have to see S and no's when the financial status is bad. See how many S we have? Out of 3, only 1 S. Other 2 are no. So 1 by 3 minus 1 by 3 log 2 1 by 3 minus 2 by 3 log 2 2 by 3. The value of entropy is 0.91. The next step is to calculate the gain. So why we calculate the gain? We calculate the gain so that we can compare between these two features. We will select the feature for the node that gives maximum gain. So this is the formula, probability of that feature multiplied by entropy. What is the probability of good first? Out of 8, I have 5 good. So this is the probability of financial status. Same way, out of 8, I have 3 bad. This is good and this is bad. This is the probability. The probabilities must be multiplied with the founded entropy values. 5 by 8 into 0.97 plus, you have to add this to calculate the gain. 3 by 8, that is no. That is bad. 1, 2, 3. 3 out of 8 are bad, multiplied by 0.91, this one. So that finally you get you will be getting a gain of 0.95. If you see here, the maximum value of entropy is 1 and the minimum value is 0 here. The maximum value of entropy is 1 here. Why it is 1? Because there is more randomness. 4 out of 8 or yes and 4 out of 8 or no. So there is an equal probability that I can start a business or, or I cannot start a business. So first we found the entropy of the whole data. Then we found the entropy of the first feature, that is financial status here. So now we are going to find the entropy and the information gain for the second feature. Remember, these two terms are called, these two columns are the features with which we are going to predict the target. Let's move on to the next slide. So we are going to find the entropy of the second column, that is prior industry experience. So we are going to find the entropy when the experience is strong, when the experience is weak. So first let's see strong. If you see here, first let us see how many strong are there. In that we have to see how many yes and no are present. So 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 8, 4 are strong and 4 are weak. So let's see how many yes are there. You have to see along with strong. 1, 2, 3 yes and 1 no is there. So 1 no is there. So we need to apply this formula and find the entropy. So 3 yes and 1 no means, I'm just writing here, minus probability of s, that is 3 or s, log 2 probability of s, minus probability of no is only 1 there. We just saw now. So 1 is no out of 4. 1 by 4 probability of no. Sorry. Probability of no log 2 probability of no. This is the formula. So that value you have to substitute and find this using the calculator. So if you don't know how to calculate the value of log 2, I'll tell you here. Suppose log 2 of 1 by 4 is here. So you just go to the scientific calculator, press log base 10. Log base 10 of 1 by 4 divided by log of base 10 and you just write 2. So this is the value of this one. So log of 1 by 4 you have to find and divide it by log 2. So this is the value of log 2 1 by 4. So you have to substitute that value here and you will get 0.811. Same way we are going to find the entropy when the experience, where industry experience is weak. So when it will be weak, let's see, out of 8 we have 1, 2, 3 and 4 weak. Let's see parallelly what is the target. 1 no, 2 no, 3 no. So out of 4 weak, we have 3 no and 1 yes. We have to apply this formula when the experience is weak. This formula should be applied here. The same value. See, the values have been changed here. But we have 4 strong and 4 weak. That only 1 yes is there in weak and 3 no is there. But here 3 yes is there, only 1 no is there. So we are going to calculate the information gain for this second feature. So let's see what is the randomness. 4 by 8 probability value multiplied by 0.811. That is the entropy. See, probability into entropy is the formula. Plus probability into entropy. We have only 2 here. So we have to add these two. So 4 by 8, we have 4 strong and 4 weak. So 4 out of 8 are strong. This is strong probability, and this one is weak. So 4 by 8 into the entropy value is 0.811. Same way 4 by 8 for weak, and the entropy value is 0.811. So if you add these two, you will get 0.811. So now to draw a decision tree, we need to select the root node, the first and foremost node. This is called as root node. So we are doing all this calculation to select whether which feature we have. I said you this is the second feature and the financial status is the first feature. There is a competition between these two features and we are finding the gain. So which feature has more gain, that feature will be selected as a root node. So we are going to compare now. 0.811 for prior industry experience, and if you see here, information gain for financial status is 0.95. So financial status has high probability and the root node will be selected based on that financial status. Excuse me. So based on information gain, we select the root node as financial status. So what is the next step? Let's see the tree diagram. So this is the tree diagram where this is called as root node. So we divide the whole data based on financial status. So under financial status, we add good and bad. So we are also dividing it into two parts. So this is the tree. We have good and bad. So what is the next step? So till now, can we stop here? Can we stop it here? So what was our aim actually? Do you remember? Why do we draw these tree-like diagrams? Why all these calculations? Why entropy? Why information gain? My aim is to predict whether I can start a business or not. Whether I can start a business. So, if you see this diagram, did I get a clear decision? We are doing all these to get a decision because this is called as decision tree. So till now I didn't get any clear decision. I splitted the data based on these two financial status, good and bad. But what is my aim here? My aim is to predict whether I can start a business or not. I need a yes or no, a clear decision. Okay? Using this decision tree, I'm going to decide. So let's move on. Now I didn't get a decision. So I have to do further calculations. So if you see here under good, the whole data that we had 8 rows and 3 columns, that will be divided by good and bad because we are dividing the whole data based on this financial status feature. So for the division of the data set, financial status is good. So splitting the data set into two parts, like the tree here we did. So under this we have this data, and under bad we have this data. So this is our new data set, and we are going to find the same entropy and information gain, so that I'll get a clear decision whether to start a business or not. So let's proceed from this data set. So I have this in my hand. I'm going to find the entropy and information gain for this data. So choosing the next decision node. For that, I have this data in my hand, and I'm going to find the entropy. H of means this represent entropy, and Ig represent the information gain. Okay, just a symbol that denotes this. So I'm going to find the entropy when good is equal to strong. So I have all the financial status is fixed here, as we have divided the tree based on financial status. I've divided the tree based on good and bad. So now I need to decide whether this prior experience will come under this decision node or this. I have to choose. How I can choose? Using this information gain. So let's see. Now we are here doing this data. So under good, you have to see how many are strong. See, find the entropy for good is equal to strong. See how many strong you have. 1, 2, 3 strong I have. And we have to see yes and no, because target is very important. Out of 3 strong, see 3 are strong. We need to say how many S are there and how many no are there, because this is our probability. Minus probability S log 2 probability S minus probability no log 2 probability no. So if you see here, out of 3 strong, I have only S. There is no here. Everything is S. So this no side will be 0. So that's what I've substituted here. And this probability of S is out of 3 strong. This is the total strong value. 1, 2, 3. So 3 are S. So 3 by 3 log 2 3 by 3. If you substitute here you will be getting 1 by 1 log 2 1. What is the value of log 1? Log 1 value is 0, and when it is multiplied you will get 0. So the value here is 0. I'll tell you what is the meaning, real meaning when entropy is equal to 0. So same way we are finding the entropy for weak. Okay. Now we just found for strong. Same way I'm going to find entropy for weak. See, we are going to find the entropy when good is equal to weak. See, good is equal to weak is only 2 we have. 1 and 2. Out of 2 we have to check whether how many yes and no are there. So that is the formula, right? So there is 0 S and 2 no. That way we have to write the probability. So this S part, probability of S will be 0 minus probabilities of no we have to substitute. Upon 2 data we have all 2 as no. 2 by 2 log 2, 2 by 2. Same way log 1 you will get, and the value of log 1 is 0. So when log 1 0 is multiplied by any number, it will be 0. So we got entropy 0. The next step is calculating the information gain. The formula is probability into entropy value. This is the probability of strong. We have to see the second column here. Just see the second, prior experience. We are finding the entropy of this one. Entropy information gain of this one. So 3 by 5. Out of 5 data here, 3 are strong. So 3 by 5 into the entropy value when good is equal to strong is 0. So multiplied by 0 plus this is weak probability. Out of 5, 2 are weak. 2 by 5 multiplied by 0 is equal to 0. So it means that there is no gain here. So entropy is 0 means there is 0 randomness. There is no uncertainty. So 0 randomness means, so can you say whether a coin has 0 randomness? Suppose this is head and the back side is also head, means I can say that 100% that I can say it 100% it is a head. It means that here I don't have randomness. So randomness is 0 means I have a clear decision. That's what we required. I need a clear decision whether I can start a business or not. So now I got a clear decision by getting entropy 0. So I am going to select this for the further split. See, this is the final tree diagram. So first we separated the root node because this had high information as compared to prior experience, and it is divided into good and bad. Under that, here if you see, we found the entropy and information gain and we got entropy as 0. It means that I get a clear decision. So I am choosing this as the decision node. Prior industry experience, okay? Based on this feature, this is our second feature. Based on this, I'm going to split the tree further. So from this, I can get a clear decision, yes or no. See, first, I got a question whether I can start a business or not. Now, I divided based on financial status. So just come along the diagram. If the financial status is good means, and if the prior experience, if you have a prior industry experience, if your prior industry experience is strong, you have a clear decision that you can start a business. Start a business. Come along this way, okay? To decide whether I can start or not. I said I have a question mark here. I don't know whether I can start or not. So if your financial status is good and your industry experience is strong, yes, you can start a business. There is a clear decision. Same way, if your financial status is good and prior experience is weak, there is a clear decision. No, you cannot start a business. And if you see, I don't have anything under bad, it means that I have taken only 2 features. If you see in the data, I have only 2 features. So based on this, I have splitted the decision tree. One feature is used here, second feature is used here. If I have more than 2 features, 3 or 4, I can analyze that and we could also get some decision nodes here. As I have only 2, I have used this. If you have used once, you should not take it for further calculations. So this is the concept behind entropy. So let's move on to the coding part. This is the coding for decision tree. So the first line of coding is you have to import the required libraries. So we use mostly sklearn functionality, that is scikit-learn. From that we are going to import the data. You can import the data or you can import it using a CSV file. So we are getting the data from sklearn. In the next step, from sklearn dot model selection, train test split. So here we are splitting the data into two parts, training and testing. So I'll give you an example for train test. Suppose if I am a school student and my school day starts from June and it will end with February, suppose. And from this month, that is June to February, I'll be trained with the syllabus from the school. And after February, that is from March to April, that 1 month, I will be tested based on my learning. That is the training here. So the learning of 1 year is called as training here, and the testing of 1 month, that is teachers will keep me exams. That way we test the model. So suppose this is the syllabus, we are splitting into two parts for training and testing. So that's how train test split works. So that should be selected from sklearn. Same way, so I have told you that student example because same way here our model will be trained first. How to predict. That way it will be tested later. So the next step is from sklearn dot metrics import accuracy score. So after testing, what teachers will do in the schools, they'll evaluate the mark sheets. That way, after testing of the model, we are evaluating it using the accuracy score. These are all the keywords used in sklearn and it should be right as it is, written as it is. So sklearn dot metrics gives the accuracy score. You have to import from there. And the next step is our model name. So what model we are doing from the PowerPoint? We are just doing the decision tree classifier. It is a classification problem, whether I can do a business or not. Or if you see any weather example there, it will be whether I can go to play or not today. It's like you have to predict whether the customer's male or female. That way, it is a binary classification. So decision tree classifier is the model here, and DTC must be in capital. If you don't write in capital, this will won't work because this is the way they have saved in sklearn. So from sklearn dot tree, you have to import decision tree classifier. So let's run these libraries first. Okay, it's fine. Let's move on to the next thing. Iris is the name of the object. Iris is equal to datasets dot load iris. From here, I'm taking the iris data. So let's see how the iris data is. For that, I have to print iris. That is the name given by me for the data. See, if you see, this is the iris data. So iris is a kind of flower. So these are all the features. The first one is sepal length, second one is sepal width, this one is petal length and the petal width. So totally we have four features. In the PPT, I discussed you two features. The one is financial status, the other one is prior experience in the industry. But now we have four features. So what we are predicting here? In PPT, we predicted that I can start a business or not. Yes or no. So now we are going to predict with these features, that is the petal length, petal width, sepal length and sepal width. We are going to predict whether, as I've told you, iris is a flower. We are going to predict whether the flower is setosa or versicolor or virginica. So this is the data. The next step is x is equal to iris dot data. So this is the feature. We discussed, we have two features in the PPT. And same way here we have 4 features. That is these 4 things. So that feature should be stored in X. And we are separate, the data will be um, like everything mixed, like feature and target will be mixed in the data. We are going to split it because we are training the model. So we are teaching this is the data. Iris.data is the feature and y means y represent the target. Iris.target is the target variable. So the next step is train test split. As I've told you, the student or the model will be trained here and it will be tested. For that, we have to split the syllabus. So same way, we are going to split the data. Data is syllabus here. So we are going to split into 2 parts. So X train is the keyword written. So we are training the feature with the target. So X train, Y train. It's like a pair. And then X test, Y test. See, first you will train with this X train and Y train. You will say that X train is the feature and Y train is the target. And in the next step, you will keep a test for the model. X test and Y test. You will not, suppose Y train and Y test are the answers. You will not give the value of Y test to the model. I'll show you how we are going to give the data to the model. So this is the main part of machine learning, that is train test split. X train X test you have to write, Y train Y test you have to write, which is equal to train test split. This is the function we get from sklearn. Here we have imported here. Without importing you cannot use that. Inside that we need to give the parameters. So what we are do training and testing the feature and the target X and Y. So what is X? X is the iris.data, Y is iris.target. And one more thing, we are giving the test size is equal to 0.25. If you do not give this, it will take the default value. So test size is equal to 25 means, suppose we have 100 lessons for a test. As I've told you the student example, suppose I have 100 lessons for the test. Sorry, the whole syllabus is 100 lessons. Out of that, I'm just selecting 25 lessons will be kept as a test for that student. That way, training and testing will be splitted. And test is equal to 25.25 means 25%. And the training will be done for the model based on the remaining 75%. So random state is equal to 1, 2, 3 means the set of pairs will not be changed when you run each time the code. Suppose these I have selected for training and these I have selected for testing. If I run each and every time, I may get a different set of data. So I don't want that. And the random state must be any number. If you give, you can give any number, it is optional. You can also avoid this if you don't want. The data that you have selected will be same. With that, you can run the code. So this is the last part of this coding. You are just applying the model. Tree is the object name. Tree is equal to decision tree classifier, where you are giving the criterion, not Genie. Genie is the another algorithm, that is it uses CART algorithm. So in this class we just saw about entropy. Genie is also similar to entropy. We just saw in the PPT what is the math behind entropy and how this decision tree classifier works in the background to select any particular decision. So we have to call this decision tree classifier inside that criterion You have to mention entropy. The next step is fitting the model. So here the model has been fit. Here the student has been taken classes by the teacher. That is X train and Y train. Everything. The student here is the model. So the model is trained with the feature and the target. And in the next step, tree predict will give you the test results. So here the model has been trained. Now using tree.predict method, we are keeping a test for that model. So where the model has been called here, the object tree represent the model, okay? So here we have called the model and we have kept a test. What is the next step after test? We have to evaluate the score that the model has got. So print accuracy score is, these are all literature you can you can use or you cannot use. So accuracy score is within quotes you have to write comma accuracy underscore score. So this is the method used from sklearn. If you see here we have imported it already. From sklearn dot matrix import accuracy score. After keeping test, the model will be tested using the accuracy score. So let's see how much score our model has secured. So how the score will be checked? With the answer sheet that the teacher have and the predicted results from the student. That way, this tree predict is the answer from the model. Y test is the original value. These two values will be compared and you will be getting an accuracy score. So that score is 0.94 here. So totally, you have to convert it into 100%, and we have an accuracy score of 94%, 94.7, nearly 95% accuracy. So your student or your model has predicted the result 95% accurately. So this is all about decision tree, and we just saw the concept and coding part. So please like, share and subscribe your SMA channel. Thank you for joining. Thank you.